Okay, Tammy, let me first start by saying that what a gift it was to have you here today, and how much I just appreciate just being with you, spending time with you, and I just really honor your truth. I honor that you felt free enough to speak the truth without reservation, and we all need to be able to do that with people. So if I can be that for you, man, that would be huge for me. Ah. So anyway, that being said, I do this exercise pretty much, well, no, I do it every day. I do it a couple times a day. I've never tried to explain it, so I don't know how that's going to unfold, but let's just give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. All right, so there's actually three phases to this, and we'll talk about the psychology and the physiology of it later. But first, I think it helps for me to know what I'm going to talk about depression first. This is one of the best things for depression. And if we don't have the energy and the focus and the motivation, then it's hard to do anything. So depression, getting that under control, I guess would be a word, is important. So this is one of the best things for it. It's really powerful. So I got to understand what depression is. And on CAT scans, it's exactly what it says it is. It's your brain becomes depressed. They can see in CAT scans that gray matter starts to develop and our brains become less active, particularly in the prefrontal cortex. So what do we need if our brains are becoming depressed? How do we open them back up? Oxygen, blood. Our brain needs oxygen, blood, and nutrition. So what we're doing here is we're going to use deep breathing to oxygenize our brain, to get blood and oxygen to our brains. And this is something that if you do it for 2 or 3 days, you'll notice a difference. And if not, don't do it. No harm, no foul. Didn't cost anything. You can try it. It may look a little silly, but I always remember what somebody told me a long time ago. They go, do you want to be cool or do you want to get better? And so, I got to set aside being cool and all that kind of stuff. Some stuff looks a little silly. I do it, man, because it helps me feel better. So, and I got to be willing to share that. So anyway, again, deep breathing, getting oxygen and blood to the brain, meditation, certain thoughts. We know that when we think bad, we feel bad. So there are certain thoughts that create certain brain waves that actually change our state. And so meditation is one of the most powerful things for that. And then a cold shower, and it's not as bad or as scary as it might sound, but there's real quickly, the physiology of that is our blood vessels. When you get in a cold shower, they constrict, obviously, and it shoots blood to your brain. And it's very powerful. When people splash water in their face, it helps them to wake up because your blood vessels are right there. They go straight to your brain. You feel a little bit more alert when you splash water in your face. You do that in a cold shower, and you can work your way up to a cold shower slowly over time. It doesn't anything you have to jump right into. This has amazing effects on your physiology in that it I'll send you some information about it. All right. So anyway, these are the three phases. So it starts very simply like this. I come in and I lay on my back and I do these deep breathing exercises. And it doesn't take that long. And you can do it 3 times a day, twice a day, once a day. If you do it once a day, you should notice a difference. Just check it out. This is what I do. Hopefully you can see how I do this. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 3 sets of hyperventilation. So you hyperventilate for the count of 30. And the end of 30, you exhale as much as you possibly can. You're expelling all the CO2 out of your system. And then you hold that for just like maybe 10 seconds. Then you take a deep breath and you hold it and you squeeze just a tiny little bit. You don't put a lot of pressure, but just a little bit, and you're going to oxygenize that blood up into your brain by just a little tight squeeze on your chest, not much. And you're going to count to 30. You're going to hold it in, your first time, what you're going to notice is the first time might be a little bit hard to count to 30, but by the time you're done oxygenizing your body, you'll go for 1.5 minutes on that third deep breath. You see a change right in front of you immediately, and that shows some of the power of this. So anyway, let's get started. Looks a little silly, but hey, man, we're about getting better, not being cool. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do 3 sets. I'm gonna do 30 breaths, and then I'm gonna exhale, hold it for 10, inhale, hold it for 30. All right, here we go. Exhale. All the way, push it all the way out. Hold it for 10. Inhale all the way as deep as you can. Hold it and squeeze just a little bit, not much, not too much pressure, but just a little bit of pressure. You're gonna put some pressure so it pushes that oxygen up into your brain. And then you count to 30. Now I'm gonna skip it so I don't take forever on this video. And maybe we could do a session together real quickly if you're willing. If you're willing to take a minute just to sit down. You saw how long that took. It didn't take a long time. We do 3 sets of those. So if you want to, lay with me and let's try. All right, we're gonna do the second round. 30 hyperventilations. Exhale, hold for 10. Inhale, hold for 30. All right, and then we're going to do one more set of those. Now what will happen is, like you're hyperventilating, you might feel a little bit of tingling, you might feel a little bit of dizziness. If that happens, great, that's perfect, that's what you're looking for, you want that. It's your body, your mind getting this oxygen and this blood, it's powerful. All right, so you do those 3 sets of breathing. Doesn't take long at all, and that's one of the best parts of it. Like I can drop down in here, do that, I can deep breathe, do a quick meditation, and walk out the door literally in like 5 minutes. You know, I love to spend time here doing this, so I'll spend an hour doing this and enjoy every minute of it. Okay, so the next phase, we're done with the deep breathing. 3 sets of hyperventilation. You exhale, hold it for 10, inhale, hold it for 30. The last inhale, just for fun, see how long you can hold it. You will be amazed. From the first time to the last time, you'll be able to hold your breath much longer. So anyway, the next phase is meditation. Now, we know on some level intuitively that our thoughts create our feelings, and yet we have trouble managing this. And so this is a practice, that's all it is. We're practicing, and that hopefully with practice, there's not perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progress. We'll get a little bit better with this, being more mindful. But I want to start with this. I started doing this and it's been so good for me. I call it 1 minute of love and compassion, man. And I love 1 minute because it's hard to make an excuse for 1 minute. You can do anything for 1 minute. So here we go. We're going to start really quickly for 1 minute. I put my hand over my heart, man. Maybe it looks silly. Doesn't matter. It works for me. I like it. Just like with all meditation, breath is your connection. A couple deep breaths. What I always do when I start a meditation, I always usually start with 3 deep breaths where I take it in, hold it for just a few seconds, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. And as I exhale, I say the word relax. But not just say it. Imagine your body becoming more and more relaxed as you exhale. All right, hand over the heart, a little smile, not much, just a little smile. What we want to do is we just want to give ourselves some love. I mean, have some compassion. Fucking life is hard. If we can't have compassion for ourselves, who can we have it for? Just 1 minute, man. All we want to do is just breathe in love. Just imagine love coming into you, man. Maybe you can exhale and say the word gratitude. In love and exhale gratitude. Inhale love, exhale gratitude. Another thing I do is I can imagine myself in front of me. And I think about what's going on. Man, Lisa just had surgery. Our dog got bit. I'm sick every day. Have compassion for that. That's tough, man, that's rough. Imagine just myself in front of me just saying, dude, I'm sorry you gotta go through that. I love you, man. Hang in there. We can do this together. Man, I don't know, this sounds a little crazy, but this is powerful, man. We gotta be able to, we can't give what we don't got, so we gotta give it to ourselves first. A little bit of love and compassion, man, just about a minute. Let's do it, start with a minute. That feels good, all right. And then we go into a meditation, which is the second phase of this. And I hate really super long videos, so I'm gonna try to move along. Man, I love ancient wisdom, the Tao Te Ching, the Buddhism. But I love that it can be backed up with science. And what science is finding is that when we focus without a lot of effort, but there has to be some effort that you don't get bored, so you're paying attention, you're focused. If you do that for a prolonged period of time, what happens is your brain goes into, most people are aware of brain waves. They're aware of alpha, beta, delta, and theta. Those are their basic brain waves. One is basic consciousness, one is being relaxed, one is meditative, one is being asleep. But there's a super level of consciousness called GABA that they found when athletes are in the zone, when musicians are playing an instrument, and when people meditate, they go into this GABA state, and it's just a place of pure peace and security. It's amazing. But we get there by just quieting the mind. And just the third step says we turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. As we understand them, whatever that power is to be, we understand it. So what it means is just to surrender, to let go. So let's do this real quick practice. Close our eyes, a couple deep breaths. The spiritual practice, meditation, always, always, always begins with relaxing. Relax. 3 deep breaths, relax. Relax. All right, we're going to try this little practice just for a second. Just imagine what it would feel like if everything that you're worried about, everything you're concerned about, you're afraid about, all our minor resentments and agitations and just life, because life is tough, man. What if for just 1 minute, just not even a minute, not a minute, just for one moment, just for this moment, what if you could just let it go? What if you could really turn your will and your life over? What would that feel like? Just for a minute, you can get all that shit back. It's not going anywhere. We're not fixing anything. It's all there. But just for a moment, if you could just imagine what it would be like to be free of it. Your health, you can let it go. I'm not worried about my health. I turned it over. It's gone. I don't have to worry about it. Just for a moment, I'll get it back. What about my finances, my romance? Can I turn it over? All my problems with this, that, and the other thing, let them all go? Just for a minute. We're just practicing. We're just trying something. Just trying for one moment to see what it might feel like if you could let that go. Let it all go. That's the purpose of meditation, right there. That feeling. And the purpose of mindfulness is to carry that quiet awareness, that deep sense of security and peace with you through the day. And what they found is when people get in this brain waves, this GABA brain waves, insights of how to handle situations and how to respond to people seem to just come from nowhere. We don't even know where it comes from. And a creativity to solve things. It is literally a expanded consciousness. And we think that if you quiet your mind and you don't think, then the mind would close in on itself. No, it opens up and information comes in from, well, it comes from our vagus nerve. Our body is communicating with us. Today, science knows that our heart, our body sent information to our brains as much as our brains send communications to our bodies. Just like if you ever touched something that was hot, you moved it before you even thought it. How did that happen? You moved before your brain thought it. Our bodies communicate, and we have to learn to listen. And we listen by being quiet. And the quieter you can become, the more you hear. So anyway, what we want to do is we just want to practice. It's a muscle that we want to exercise. We practice being in this state of peace and calm and relaxing, where we let everything go. It's all gone. And just be there. Just be here. Man, I spent my life, I'm always trying to change how I feel. I didn't know how to just be. I didn't know how to just sit and be with myself. It was too painful. It was boring. It's confusing. What do? You just sit there? No. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. It's full of presence. It's full of everything we're seeking. It's there. All right, I know that, okay, maybe that got a little deep and a little metaphysical. I'm sorry about that. And then you do this deep breathing, you do this meditation, and then you get into a cold shower, and that cold water squeezes all your veins, and all the blood rushes to your brain, and you come out more alert. And man, in a couple days, you go, wow, my depression, wow, I feel more alert, more awake, more alive. And man, this is a practice that, we can, I don't know, maybe they've been doing it for thousands of years. I just learned it. But It's been powerful for me. It really has. And I'm sharing it with you. And hopefully, you know, maybe you can take some of it and incorporate it. Cold showers is like, I like warm water. I hate cold water. You can learn to love cold water. I know it sounds crazy. You say that's impossible. I know. I believe it. I agree. But I would start with a nice warm shower and I'd make it a little cool, and it got a little cool. Okay, then I'd stop. And I would do a little bit more. All we ever want to do. Listen, Tony Robinson says if you want massive change, you got to take massive action. Man, I can't do that. That's not me. I need little bits of effort. And then I get a little bit of result. And that little bit of result gives me the motivation to take a little bit more effort. Then I get a little bit more result. And that gives me a little bit more motivation. So we start slow and we grow. No force, no pressure. Easy. We can do this, man. I know you can do this. I believe in you. It's there. If you want to. All right. I love you, man. Peace.